Yep. What's going on, everyone? Welcome to this week's episode of Walking 90. It's been a long time, but it's been a good time. We had our little break. We are back to talk all things USL League One, from drama to new kits to new teams. We're here to bring it to you. First and foremost, let me introduce my co-host. As always, it's the one who is putting me through F1 101, making sure that I know everything from the paddock to why Charles Leclerc crashes, almost like Greenville.
Damn.
How are you doing, homie?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm doing well. I'm still learning about F1, going through that. But, hey, it's whatever. It's something to take my mind off of the Kickers mid-season slump that's happens at least once a year.
Is it a mid-season slump if it happens the whole season?
This is also true.
Just,
Hey, I like to call it the leveling out process. Like, this is where teams are leveling out, and now we know where Richmond is.
Okay.
Yeah, Also joining me on the show tonight, as always, is the one and only Mr. Kyle Carr, the man that got to see his team win via the PK. But hey, a win's a win.
Exactly. When you haven't won a game in almost 3 months, you take whatever victory you can. All right. You got to take it. I don't know what this team's going to win next time, so I got to take the wins when I can.
I feel you on that. So, guys, we have one of these weird weeks where we got a mixture of League One games, we got a mixture of Jägermeister games. We also had a makeup game on Saturday in a mix with Jäger games.
That's why that match happened.
I was so confused about why it happened too. Also,
I was going through FOTMob, and I was like, why the hell are Amy Alta and Naples playing when there's Jäger Cup? Like, this doesn't make sense at all.
Yeah. That's
forgetting completely about the makeup game.
Well, welcome to summer. We're pouring whiskey into energy drinks and seeing where the night takes us. Let's do this.
Oh, Christ. All right.
Yo, when your heart maxes out, I'm just going to laugh. Heart just completely craps out. So starting off, before we dive into all that stuff, because, that's the stuff that's going to take forever, let's dive into it. We got a new team coming in the USL League One. It's Athletic Club Boise. Make sure I get the name right. So, yeah, we have a new team, another team out there closer to Spokane. I'm not going to lie. I like the name. I like the fact they are leading into the best roots of this club. If you didn't know, there's a bass community there in Boise. The badge makes me wanting more. It feels like
I'm upset. Why is it not symmetrical?
Honestly, though.
As you know, they always got to give you an explainer. But yeah, I don't know, man. Like,
it's not that it's not symmetrical for me. Like, that's whatever. I just really hate the goddamn bird.
That's the problem. Why is the bird, like, if the bird was within the crest, I would give it a 10 out of 10. But because you have the fucking bird breaking through the crest, it is now uneven, and I hate you. I'm lying. I love your colors. It's actually a really cool logo, but I hate you.
I don't know, man. Like, the logo, it feels like they had like 4 great ideas. It was like, we just had to put these all together.
Yeah, because the lines being agriculture fields is hilarious. Like the horizontal lines, they represent the agricultural fields of Idaho.
Sure. I think my favorite was like the star. It was like, yes, the star garnet, Idaho State General. Like, I don't think anyone has ever thought, wow, the star garnet is really what puts Idaho on the map.
Also, if you don't know, see that alternate logo?
That's not bad. I actually like it.
Yeah.
Not bad.
Like, that's where I go, okay, why didn't we run with this?
So the colors are going to be green, black, and purple.
I like it. I like it. It's different. It's not the same shit. It's not red, blue, white. None of those. It's I like it. That being said, the fact that they said that the top of the crest is the mountain and the bottom of the crest is the valley. It's an explainer. Sure.
It's not gonna make it. It's not gonna make me hate that bird aspect. That's the part. I think that's the part that I just hate more than anything is this bird. Everything else I would like about it. If you did the lines throughout, that'd be fine. If you just kept the bottom blank and have that 1 star, sure. But then the bird is just like, why are you? This seems unnecessary. This is extra.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know, man. Like, it just makes me
sad.
Not sad. Like, it just feels like it's too many ideas at once. Yeah, it just.
They could have literally put the same bird into the actual fit into the logo. It still wouldn't have made sense, but it would have been more appealing to the eye.
They could have had the bird be like the secondary logo.
And I feel like it's also funny that we had one green and black team leave Lexington, and now we're adding another green and black team in Boise a year later. Like, we have to have a green and black team in this league. But yeah, man, I'm not gonna lie. I was low-key hoping they would lean into like the blue. Because the blue field out there at Boise State. I was hoping, but
they also broke ground in the stadium.
Yeah, I think that's probably the most important thing. Like, having their own ground, I think that's huge. And honestly, I think the biggest winner in this is Spokane. Because now they got a legit team that's close to them. I mean, AV also is on the same side of the state, but now it's closer. And it also, this would really, I wish that a Fuego, NoCo, FC Tucson could have stayed in League One, because then the west side of the USL would have been a lot more competitive, or at least a lot more filled out with teams that they were able to stay. But hey, they'll start March 2026. Will they have it? Will we have a balanced schedule? Probably not.
No. I mean, you do get Fort Lauderdale in 2026.
Yeah.
Sarasota.
Yeah. Yep.
So that's 3.
Is Fort Wayne 2026 for sure? I'm trying to remember. Or is that I think their goal is 2026, but I don't know if it was
I mean, they have a logo, so that's good.
Well, they exist. Fort Wayne exists.
Yeah. I mean,
and Jersey is supposed to be coming out.
That's going pro in 2026.
All right, there you go.
Yeah, so the 2026 clubs stand like this. You got Atletico Boise, Corpus Christi. We haven't heard anything from them. USL Eugene, Fort Lauderdale is definitely coming.
Where's Eugene coming in at?
2026.
Are they?
Yeah,
because it's not on the USL League One website.
I feel like Eugene is one of those where it's like, yeah, we're doing it, and then there's just been no.
Yeah,
there's been nothing.
Jersey is supposed to be coming. I think I saw it on either in Discord or Reddit. They have an Eventbrite ticket for their release on July 10th. So that's another one. And then
I feel like they're going to have, I'm going to guess that their color is going to be like a black and red. I feel like they're going to go black and red.
Who?
Corpus
Jersey? Corpus Christi.
Jersey's going to have some dumb color.
If it's Corpus Christi, I feel like blue will be incorporated.
There's so much blue, though.
Yeah.
I'm over it. I'm over the blue.
Like, Charlotte's blue. Naples is blue.
Fort Lauderdale's got to be blue.
Westchester. Tormenta. Spokane. Fort Lauderdale. Fort Wayne. That's over half the league.
Yeah. Jersey is probably going to be, like, very boring. I feel like in their color design.
Gray.
I mean, it's Jersey. So
gray.
We already know what Sarasota's gonna look like.
Yep.
Oh yeah. If they don't lean into the The Neon Vice, get out of here.
Yeah. And then the other one, I mean, USL Eugene, if they do come in 2026.
I would kind of say they're not, because literally I'm looking at the League One site and it says future clubs and Eugene is not.
Okay. So
listed.
maybe not.
At least they're not listed yet.
So yeah, so maybe not. Maybe not Eugene is coming in. But yeah, so I mean, it'd be interesting. I mean, the league is growing. Not the club is growing. The league is growing. We'll see how it goes. We will see how it goes. Will we be happy with how the schedule is? Absolutely not.
It's still not going to be balanced because it's 4 teams coming in, right? You would need 16.
No, there's 5. There would be 19 teams next year if no one leaves, and the future clubs. So if Boise, Corpus Christi, Fort Lauderdale, Fort Wayne, Sarasota, there'd be 19 total teams next year.
Yeah.
Yeah. So so it looks like it's 5 right now that they have attached. Corpus Christi. I know Corpus Christi has a League 2 team, but it might not be the same. It might be another team. I wonder. Something to figure out. All right. So we move on for that. Talk about new teams getting new jerseys. We look at Greenville Triumph. They have their new jersey. Let me go ahead and pull them up for y'all on here.
You know what? Some of these jerseys just ain't doing it for me. Oh, that does though. That does something to me.
I was going to say, are you saying that because it's Greenville?
No. I hadn't seen it. Okay, Greenville.
I'm not gonna lie to you. It's very nice.
Yeah,
that's nice. That's real nice. Ooh, what is it called?
I don't know, but what I like about it is
also, have y'all seen this video?
I like the blue because I think that's what makes it. Because like we see a bunch of like the claret and like blue combo, and I think Greenville did a good job at making sure the blue wasn't.
Look who it is! Did y'all see?
So he's too good to be on this pod, but he can go be over here.
Right. I saw that video. I was like, "What is?"
But yeah, I like that they were able to not look like a Burnley Aston Villa.
Yeah, I like how heavy it is on the red claret, whatever you want to call it. It looks good. I like the collar. I'm not normally a collar person, but I dig that one just because it helps tie so much of the kit together.
It's a good kit. Like
nice.
It is. It's a good
kit. You might be doing something for that hat. Give me.
I'm a slut for a good bucket hat.
I love a good bucket hat, boy. Wait, go back. Hold on. What is that?
No, it's a reversible bucket hat.
Yeah, it's good, man. Like, this is a good jersey.
Where's my wallet? Yeah, here.
I will not be buying it, but I can acknowledge it's good.
Yeah, no, honestly, 100%. Like, am I buying it? Absolutely not. But is it a good jersey? 100%.
But if Ed buys it, I'm going to be like, that's a good choice.
Yeah. And
like
this is
if I bought that unit Omaha kid, I would have been like, what's wrong with you? What are you doing?
Yeah, no.
Are you going through a midlife crisis? Do you need help?
And this is my thing. Like, yeah, everyone can have a good jersey, but how does it look on the field? That's solid.
That's
like
just
that.
God damn.
Everything complements each other.
Which just makes me wonder, what is Westchester and Hummel doing?
Right.
Hummel has been able to do okay.
Like it's blue, but you have a really good color scheme. And the fact that you don't have a yellow or gold kit with blue accent.
The thing is, even Naples had a solid to above average kit. They had Hummel. Portland obviously crushed it. Avialta looks really good. Madison, good. Knoxville, we would all agree, like, no bad kit. Richmond, good kit. Omaha, bad kits. But that was, I mean, so I don't know what happened with Omaha and Westchester with Hummel, but
Yeah, I don't know, man. Westchester one makes me. It leaves a lot to be desired, and I get it, like because they were supposed to start, I think 2027, and maybe they were just like, let's just get something out there. But I want to see more from them, man. Especially like you got a good color basis. You got blue and gold. Like you can really do something with
You
that.
can make that work.
Oh my God, give me a white kit with blue letters and gold accents. Give me a gold kit with blue accents. And like come on now.
The three teams I want to see redo their jerseys for next year are Spokane.
Yeah, they're kind of just
Westchester and Omaha. Spokane jersey I just never liked because it's like you have the badge and then you have the badge in the jersey. And it just is like, all right, pick one. Like, if you're gonna have the badge within the jersey itself, like go to a secondary logo. And I don't think they have a secondary logo yet, but it just feels like it's too much to me. But yeah. So yeah, Greenville, you did your thing there with them jerseys. They look good.
Yeah.
They ain't go front. They you did good there, Chuck. You did good there. All right, so we move ahead. We go look at some of the league results. So what we'll do is we'll start out with the USL League One games. Talk about those. Then we'll go to the Jäger Cup. Talk about those, and then we'll talk about the Jäger games and the league games because we are still in this weird ass window where nothing is balanced. All right.
His balance is crazy because it's not. You're right.
Not at all. All right. So we start off. Wednesday night was probably the. If I had to explain it to anyone, it was probably like watching MAC football on a Tuesday night, and you just put it on. You're like, all right, I don't really expect much from this. Like, let me just put it on, and then all hell breaks loose. And you're like,
what do you mean? That wasn't hell. That was life.
That was no. It really was Maction because you're thinking this might be terrible, and then it was like, oh no, this is chaos. It was Mac. That's Maction right there. You think it's going to suck, and that is really fun.
So yeah, South Georgia Tormenta play FC Naples. 2-1 result there win for South Georgia Tormenta. They get their first win in God knows how long. Let's see.
Yo, does that say 377 in attendance?
Don't worry about the numbers, okay?
Oh, okay.
Don't worry about the numbers. Like we say all the time, like we know Tormenta getting crowds when that college crowd is there. Don't worry about them numbers, okay?
Okay.
All right. So they haven't had a win, Tormenta, since April 26th.
Jesus. It's June.
That's not that bad. April 26th, hey, bad.
And they got their win. They got their win over FC Naples. The FC Naples team who on the road has not been the strongest, I would say. They actually been dropping games the last couple of few. In their last 5 results, they have, I'm trying to make sure I get this right, 2 draws, 3 losses. And that includes the AV Alta game, which is a bad week, man. 2 games dropped on the road there for them. And also a red card to boot as well. So how are we looking at this game? Are you feeling or can Tormenta ride this wave?
No.
Or is this Naples crashing back down to earth?
I feel like it's more the crashing down to earth.
Okay.
Ain't gonna hold you, fam. No. This is not it. This is like I love a development. I love to see things. I want to see, like what we try to do and failed miserably, and then we finally got it right. I like seeing that type of development. This ain't it for them, and somehow they're still not in last place. That belongs to Ford Madison. So
here's the thing with the Tormenta game, which is why I'm also like, it took an own goal, a Naples red card, and then a late goal after the red card for them to get the win.
Well,
Like,
I
it
mean,
took a
Bowman
lot.
came in and immediately scored. So, I mean, wrong game.
yeah.
Wrong game.
But I'm just saying, like, there's a lot of circumstances for Tormenta to get over that final line that you're not going to get every week to really be convincing.
How did he get the red card? Like,
Oh. Well, that's a fun little story on that.
oh, okay.
So, Tormenta get the ball. And I don't know what it was. It was a foul, but it does not look like... I don't know how it's a red card. He, like, basically...
I mean, it looks like it's not even like
Oh.
a second yellow. It's just a straight
No, he pulled
red.
his hair. He pulled his hair. He, like, got the guy in the face, and then as he's going down, he was yanking on his dress.
Oh, okay. I remember that video. Okay.
That's wild. Like, what are we
That's
doing?
so dumb. The fuck are you doing? We have cameras.
Also, it was right in front of the ref.
You're right there.
It's not even that we have cameras. It was the ref is right there. Has a clear sight.
I'm not gonna lie to you, man. FC Naples got some weird red cards this year. Like, it's red cards where it's like, you don't have to do that. Like, you didn't. You chose to.
Why are you pulling this man's hair?
That's at least a steak dinner first. Like, come on, yo. Like,
Yeah. At that
at
point,
least
you
a
just
$30 bottle of wine. Like, come on.
at that point, you got to bring some lube, some fuzzy handcuffs or something. Jesus. So that game was wild, and then that game started off everything, and then you had the absolute barn burner that was Union Omaha versus Richmond Kickers, which, by the way, this is the first time Richmond has completed the sweep against Union Omaha. Now,
Wait, already?
yeah, we don't play them again.
Damn.
We've swept Union Omaha, but
Okay.
I think I can't remember the exact years, but twice Richmond has done a gentleman sweep where they've collected like the majority of the points, but one game was a draw. This is the first time they collected all the points against Union Omaha. Now, in this game, we saw Bill Hart return to score. Saw Kirkland get a brace. We saw Knapp assist Richmond in 2 goals. We possibly saw the downfall of Rashid Nuhu. We saw Bonyak, an 18-year-old, score a banger. And we saw maybe the weirdest yellow card. Penalty given for a goalkeeper save. Yeah, it was all over the place. It was a weird game, man. Because at one point, this game was 4-1.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
you know what? That's fair. Because I was like, damn, Richmond is whooping ass on the road. And then I saw that it was suddenly very close. And I was like, what is Richmond doing? And then I was like, it's Richmond. So
the thing was, it was 4-1, right? And then the PK happened. So then it becomes 4-2. And then in the 84th minute, Bonzak just scores a banger. Like, there was nothing the goalkeeper could do. Yeah, it just happened. So it makes it 4-3. But Richmond also had chances when he could have made it like 6-1 at one point because Guy had I knew who made an amazing save on this. A goal line save, and then I think Kirkland had another chance that got saved by Nuhu at the near post. But yeah. So the way how to look at this game is like, is this the game in which Richmond can finally the get right game because they like Tormenta?
why is this an 8-minute highlight? What the fuck?
Well, because you had 7 goals. But yeah, Richmond hadn't won a game
I was
since.
gonna say, yeah, when you have all these goals, you got to show the highlights for them.
Yeah. Richmond hadn't won a game since April 9th. And, well, in Union, in this case right now, are in the midst of a 3-game slid. So, like, who comes out of this game worse for wear? Or better? Anyway, you want to
I mean, Omaha walks away worse because, lost. and allowed 4 goals. Like,
yeah, like you got
Not
2
great.
back. The way how the goals were conceded, and like to be honest with you as well, like this game, honest and truly, it could have, should have been like a draw. Like it could have been 3-3 or 2-2.
well, and also this is at home.
Yeah,
Like that's the thing. Like that's at home. That's like the one thing with Omaha. It's like at least you had with your field, you had that as an advantage.
You know what? Omaha deserved to lose for wearing those ugly ass kits. What the fuck? But also, you're right. That PK doesn't make any fucking sense. I just looked at it. Like the ball had already been saved. So what are we calling the PK on? Because no one.
What we thought it was is that because Simon, like, is there as well, so maybe that collision. But I don't know. But then also on top of that, like Nat giving up being the sole reason why Richmond had 2 own goals is also hilarious because the first one, like he just kicks it into his own net. And then the second one where Kirkland scores, he more or less clears out Nuhu, who's going for the save. So yeah.
See, the best time for you to get anything for Nuhu was 2 seasons ago. And now,
or even last year, or even this past like off season
for Nuhu last year.
Yeah, it Nuhu will go down as one of the greatest USL League One goalkeepers.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
But I'm starting to worry. Is he starting to go on that Akira run where the hits are starting to have effect? Like the punch drunkenness is starting to chip away. Because it's like, is Nuhu the same goalkeeper that can take an average junior Omaha team and get them across the playoff line? Maybe not anymore.
Not based on this season.
You know, I want to say that, but I also saw him pull off some ridiculous saves against Madison like 2 weeks ago. Yeah. So that makes me go, maybe still got it.
Yeah, maybe it does. I don't want to see him go out like that.
I feel like there's more volatility. Like he's going to give you the games like against Madison, and then he's going to have games like this. Like I feel like that's where he is now. Like on his day, he's still going to be one of the best keepers in the league. But there's also a chance he's going to allow goals that you just go, what was this?
Yeah. And then, I don't put him in blame for the 2 own goals that happened. The only goal that made me like very concerned was Kirkland's second goal, the one outside the box where it was like, oh, Nuhu last year saves that easily. I don't know about this year. And that's the thing that concerns me with you. But all right, we spent too long talking about that. We move on to my bad. The other league game that happened this weekend, AV Alta 4-1 over FC Naples. And guys, I'm not going to lie, I watched this game on Saturday because it was the only game that happened at 11 o'clock Eastern. And what I will say is this. Watch everything after the 55th minute mark because that's really where this game took off at. Like, AV Alta dog walked them boys. And I never thought I would have said that. They dog walked them. It was
that bad. A Blanca's hat trick?
Yes. Yeah. Yes.
And like
look, the free kick he scored was a banger. Absolutely.
It's like this was the AV Alta that Ab and I keep complaining when we don't see it. We're like, why are you doing this? And this is why, because we know what they are capable of. This game was a prime example of like, this is why we expect AV Alta to do better.
Yeah. That's insane. That's a 27-minute hat trick.
Yes.
Yeah.
But no, this is the kind of game that justifies Ab and mine's crash out on AV Alta.
Yeah. Like, Dunse got 2 assists. Blance's got a hat trick. Like,
they threw Miguel Ibarra out there just for, victory cigar.
They did. They put They trotted that man out for 7 minutes. It was like, hey, warm your legs up. Go.
And then he got a foul, and like he got like a foul. He fouled someone like once, got caught offside. It was like, all right.
That's the bar we know. Like,
yeah.
Like this AV Ultra team, I think now they're like third in the table, so they're on the right side, and they haven't lost in their last 8. So they're climbing up the table. They're doing the things right. It seems like they are very settled and confident about who they are. If there's one thing that I would change about AV Ultra, and this is very minuscule, like maybe the goalkeeper, like you can probably look to have an upgraded goalkeeper. But outside of that, man, like right now, outside of the top 2 teams in Spokane and Charlotte, they are probably, well, not probably, they are the hottest team in League One.
They're the hottest team. I don't trust the defense fully yet to go all in.
Mm.
Yeah,
like their defense still makes me go, hold on.
Yeah. Yeah, still a little work there to be done, but yeah, like AV Ultra right now, man.
But the attack, the attack's one of the best in the league. Like this is the attack I expect. Like going into the season, I figured their attack was going to be really, really good, and the defense was going to be bad.
Mm-hmm.
And then they would just do mind-boggling things on the ball, and I was like, I don't know what this team is.
Yeah, and see, the month of July is a big month for them because they have 3 games at home. That's Union Omaha, FC Naples, and then Monterey Bay in the Jäger Cup game. And then they go on the road twice. Both of these are midweek, though, however. So you'll see them play, and we'll talk about this later, Portland on Wednesday, and then one Knox on the 16th. I'll put it to you like this. In the 4 league games they have, if AV Ultra can get, let's see, that's 4 games, 12 points. If they can get 8 points at a minimum, I got them. That's a playoff team. 8 points at a minimum is I will be comfortable saying AV Ultra is probably going to be hosting a playoff game.
8 points in July?
Yeah.
I'm not going as far to say hosting yet, just because, I mean, we saw with Naples, like, you can have a bad month or two, because we thought Naples was going to be in that top 3.
Yeah.
And then they fell apart the last month or two. So I'm not going, like, 8 points will definitely put AV Ultra safely in a playoff position, but I'm not going as far to say hosting a playoff game, like hosting one yet, just because Chattanooga is not that far behind them. They're only 2 points.
Why are we playing on a Wednesday?
Knoxville still has like 3 games in hand, and they have 16. But like, there's still too many games for me to like say, okay, they're fine, because a bad month or 2, and all of a sudden you can see like, yeah. So I'm not gonna go as far yet, but I think July and August will be like the 2 months where then it's like, okay, now this is probably who they are.
Pause. Why the fuck does the league hate AV Ultra? Because they're going Saturday, they just won, but then they play Wednesday, like 2 days from now, Wednesday. Then they go to play Saturday. So they got to go.
And the thing is, they're flying all the way to Portland on Wednesday to fly.
Yes,
all the way
I was
back
like, I'm not crazy, right?
on
They got to
Saturday.
go to Portland and then come home to play Union and then go back across the country to Knoxville.
Okay, but that's they at least get like a week. They at least get 11 days.
To fly home to play Naples. What? That's diabolical.
And I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think the AV Ultra Portland is the longest trip in the league. It might be
Naples to Spokane?
I don't know.
It's one of those two.
One of those two.
Because I just don't know where Portland lines up like on the map in terms of like.
It's up there.
I mean, it's in Maine.
I mean, but like, is Maine further over than the?
Hold on, I'm gonna do. Let me do some directions. Okay, so let's.
Yeah,
whatever it is stupid, because this is so mean. I started doing the math of like teams that can beat, and then I was like, wait a minute, they gotta go, they gotta ping pong across America
Yeah, they didn't do
like
him
3 weeks.
any favors.
All right, so Lancaster to Portland is 3,064 miles.
As the crow flies.
I mean, yeah, unfortunately. Spokane to Portland is 2,845. And then Spokane to Naples. Oh my God, I can't type. Is 2,971 miles. So Avial to the Portland is the longest trip.
Yeah. Okay.
But
All right.
Spokane.
Great. So they're gonna do that
Naples
and then come home and play Union Omaha. All right, cool. Cool.
So yeah, maybe I need to reel back in what I was saying because maybe there's a trap game in there somewhere.
The trap game is definitely that Union Omaha game.
The trap game is whatever midweek, whatever Saturday game they have after a midweek.
That AV to Union Omaha.
Or it could be AVL to Naples.
That's when they're dead tired at that point. They're like, bro,
Right.
I've crossed.
You're doing all
14.
that fly.
Right.
I just hit 14 different time zones in 2 weeks. Like, yeah.
Only for the next week to then have to play a Jäger Cup match.
Right.
It's going to be silly. It's going to be absolutely silly season. All right. So those are the league games that happened there. We'll move on from that. We'll come back to that when we talk about our wrap up. We move on to the Jäger Cup. And folks, let's just say now, ain't looking good for League One. Ain't looking good. Start off with a quick result. So Rhode Island FC 4-1 over Port Horseshoe. Hat trick there by Dikwa over Portland. Not the best results for the Hearts, but hey, shout out to them and also Westchester. Both had traveling fans go out to these games, which is really cool to see.
Shout out to the Rhode Island coach I was watching like an anime villain.
Dog, that is absolutely hilarious because they had me thinking, like, where would, like, Darren sit if he ever got set off in a game? Did you see this photo, Ev?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
He would absolutely go to the condemned side and sit up top.
Yeah, but the Rhode Island coach getting sent off and him standing up there, like, plotting on the other team's downfall is hilarious. Like,
That is the craziest thing I've ever seen.
it's almost like when Arsene Wenger got sent off, he just went out to like the next section up. He was like, "I'm out the box." Still coaching. And you can tell that man was still coaching because he had his assistants up there with him with a walkie-talkie. You can tell that man was 100% still coaching. Like,
It's Jaeger. They don't give a shit.
you know. Moving on to the next one, we got Forward Madison 1-0 with a PK by McLaughlin there. That's 2 weeks in a row with a McLaughlin PK, right?
I don't know where was this team drawing and winning penalties like last year or the year before? They could have probably, I'll take it, but yeah, it's weird. Ford Madison getting penalties and scoring them.
Yeah.
It's odd.
Got a one there over 1 Knox, but unfortunately, Cal is not in the league. It's in the Jäger Cup.
A win is a win, all right? They did not win a game in damn near 3 months. I take my win.
Hey, and for real,
they're not eliminated from the Jäger Cup either.
That's crazy.
You just need to score 4 goals and hope that FC Tulsa blows their shot against Indy.
Who's
But,
else?
yeah.
Who else is in your group?
Indy,
Birmingham,
FC
Chattanooga.
Tulsa, 1 Knox to Chattanooga. So yeah, you got to score 4 against Birmingham, keep a clean sheet, and then hope that Indy beats FC Tulsa.
I mean, beating Birmingham is not
or draws them.
Yeah.
Hey, it's dumb, but you never know. But they're not. They're probably not advancing. But they got one.
Oh yeah. Moving on, we saw Greenville get a pretty convincing win over Miami FC. 2-0 win here. You got goals from Robles and Gulo there beating them. Any thoughts on this performance for Greenville putting out a good lineup and getting a win over, which I believe at the time was top of the table. Was top of the table Miami FC. Now this puts Greenville in the number 1 spot heading into that final weekend against FC Naples.
Greenville just does really well in this tournament. I don't know.
I mean, it's not having to perform in league play, so.
New kit bounce. I don't know.
New kit bounce. That is hilarious. So then we move on to 1-0 win here. Pittsburgh Riverhounds. Goal in the 15th minute by Jesqua. Hope I said his name right. Over Westchester Soccer Club there. I'm not gonna lie, I didn't watch this game live, but just seeing the momentum and seeing some of the stats, it felt like once Pittsburgh got that goal, they kind of was just like, all right, we're in control. Like, we don't have to step out of first gear. Maybe Westchester had a few chances here and there, but nothing really too significant.
Nah, they don't really. I mean, just thinking about league play. No, once they get there, it's kind of like, we're good now. Let's just coast on home. So,
yeah,
not surprised by this.
Typical Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
They really not too much to take from that there. So, move on from that result. Richmond goes down 3-0 to Lexington Soccer Club. Once again, another game in which Richmond gets their first red card of the season. Griffin Burnett in the 68th minute. We saw goals from I'm going to butcher this first name. Ngujo, Epps, and Burke. Corey Burke there. Yeah, man. I think at one point, I counted Richmond had 6 or 7 players on the field under the age of 22 on the field.
Jesus. Okay.
And also the way how this team lined up, you can kind of already sense that Richmond was just like, we're not advancing out of this group. We got our bye week coming up. Let's just keep everyone healthy as much as we can. Give some guys experience who hasn't have any, and just get this over with. That's what it felt like. Once they didn't beat North Carolina in that second game, the hope of getting out the group just went out the window.
I mean, we're not getting out of the group, so
yeah.
I like how the USL website has just not bothered updating who's actually eliminated. Like they said, oh yeah, AV Alta's eliminated, but they didn't say Richmond was eliminated. They didn't say like Chattanooga or Knoxville.
No.
Yeah, it's just the USL website just did not update at all to show who's like. All it showed is AV Alta's eliminated, but like Omaha, technically I guess they can still advance, but it would take a lot.
Never tell them the odds.
Chattanooga and Knoxville can advance. They're eliminated. Westchester's eliminated. Richmond's eliminated.
A lot of League One teams are eliminated.
Yeah.
So yeah. Shout out to Lexington. They got to win. Good for them.
I mean, again, they're not doing it in league play, so
yeah. It's not my concern. Moving on to the next game with the Pens, actually. South Georgia cemented 3 goals there. Scores the Freeze, Vivas, and Reed Steffens in the 95th minute. Taking it to Charleston Battery in kind of a not state derby, but local rivalry, you can kind of say. Losing 4-5 on Pens there. Tormentas kind of seemed like they took the momentum from SC Naples and upped the crazy in this game, but not enough to well, I mean, look at this. The result keeps them. If they would have won, say if you get the 2 points, they would have been a
They would
second.
have been tied for second or something like that. I think it would have been second. I don't know. Yeah.
No, they would have been in second place because Miami FC is on -1 goals. But unfortunately, now the drops on the fourth, so they play Miami the final day. So maybe you might be playing for second place at that point. We'll see.
The fact
really
that they were
depends
able
on
to
how
equalize
Tampa Bay
after the 10.
It's just for bragging rights at that point, though.
Yeah. So yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how that all goes there. I mean, look, if Tormenta is kind of just like, look, the season ain't going the way how it goes, and maybe we can leverage this Jäger Cup into something. I mean, hey, do it. Do it and see. Can you finesse it in your favor? But yeah, we'll see. All right, moving on to another game that depends. Loudoun United FC 1, Charlotte Independence 1. You had the goal scorer, Maru, in 73rd minute, taking the game to PKs, but unfortunately, like the game previously, lost 4-3 to Loudoun FC there. Charlotte, however, they are still in the running for even top in the group when they play Richmond in the final match day. I'm going to tell you folks right now, they're probably going to win that game against Richmond. So just go ahead and give them the points there. Do you think there's any way how can Charlotte get through? Because Louisville will have Lexington, and then Loudoun will play North Carolina FC.
They have a chance.
Yeah.
Are they battling Loudoun for first place?
Who? North Carolina?
No, Charlotte. Are they battling Loudoun for first place?
Yes,
they're in the mix there.
I mean, I know it's my group, but my team sucks, so I haven't really been paying attention. But
so basically, Charlotte can win the group if they win, Louisville loses, or draw. Louisville has to lose, or they have to lose in a penalty shootout. Charlotte has to win, and Loudoun would have to, I believe, lose.
Yeah.
They might, or actually, this is dumb. So Charlotte will advance if they win. Louisville loses in the PK shootout. And Loudoun has to either lose or draw, lose the shootout, and not outscore Charlotte by 3 goals.
Yeah.
Okay, so no.
So odds are low.
Yeah.
For winning the group. They could still possibly, advancing is very much possible. They just got to have a better result than Louisville.
Mm-hmm.
Winning the group seems slim, but it could happen.
Could happen. So yeah, moving on from the next game of that, we got a 4-1 loss for Chattanooga Rebels, who went out to FC Tulsa. Goal scorer there was Nap for Union Omaha. But yeah, I mean, they opened up the score and they led for all of 8 minutes, and then FC Tulsa was like, oh, yeah, this is a different playing field. I will say this is the one thing that I've seen a lot between. I think the gap between League One and championship team is closer to what people think it is, but I still think there is a physicality difference between championship and League One clubs. If that makes sense, because we saw it against Lexington and we saw it against Chattanooga as well. It's just physicality, speed difference, all that stuff.
I will definitely say, in the indie, defenders, they were huge. They were just big dudes. It was staggering. So I do think there is something to it. Seeing the indie Madison match and just seeing the indie defenders, that there was definitely a size advantage and a physicality advantage with all our players.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Just looking at some of these players, it's just Jesus Christ. I can see why.
Those players going up against your 22-year-olds.
I mean, yeah. If you go look at the first 2 goals that Lexington scored against her, I know we're going back against them, but their players were standing still and our players were at their shoulder. It was just a height difference. It just was Jesus. And maybe the most craziest game of the whole Jäger Cup weekend, Texoma 4 Phoenix 5 and
God.
Texoma.
Texoma.
I don't know what to say about this game.
Texoma. Like, you had it. You had it.
Even at 4-4, Texoma still could have won 5-4. They could have won 6-4 at 4-4. And just.
You let Charlie Dennis get a hat trick.
Yeah.
I mean, granted, 2 penalties. Like, it was.
Very true.
Like, it really was.
As a neutral, that game was fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, 100%.
If you're a fan of Texoma, you're like, what the fuck? And if you're a fan of Phoenix, you're like, what the fuck?
Texoma literally scored 4 goals on 5 shots on target.
Yeah, it was crazy, man. It was crazy. Like, what are we doing, guys? What is going on?
I mean, Texoma literally was like, we don't have the ball much, but we're just going to score when we do have it.
Yeah. Moving on from that game, we got San Antonio FC with a 9th-minute goal from La Cava over Union Omaha there in that game.
It was meh. The last 2 games were honestly so boring. Like, I started watching the Lights versus.
I didn't watch. I watched the Texoma Phoenix. I was like, I can't anymore. Like, I need to be done.
Yeah, I just like after I watched the ending of that game, and then I was like, all right, let's keep it going because Gold Cup soccer was pissing me off. And I was like, you know what? I'm done with soccer for today. After I started watching those games, and I was like, this is so fucking boring. This is boring.
Yeah. Yeah. And then you had Las Vegas Lights 2 over league leader Spokane Velocity, and
it was boring.
There was a match. A match happened.
Yeah. And that's how I really felt with the last 2. Like, I don't know, man. It just did not feel competitive at all.
Well, it's also like, as this is happening, you got AVL to Naples, and it's like, oh, this seems more appealing.
Yeah. So as it looks right now, like Kyle said, AVL to Spokane are eliminated in Group 1. So no League One team coming out of. Well, Spokane's not eliminated, but
Spokane needs a miracle.
Yeah. AVL is definitely eliminated, but Spokane needs a miracle. If you go look in Group 2, Union Texoma are hanging on
also
by
needs miracles.
Yeah. And the funny thing is, a team is going to get eliminated because both of these teams play each other in the 3rd game. So whoever loses that game, or if there's a draw, one or both teams gets eliminated from that competition. But it feels more or less like a death knell there. Look at Group 3. Fort Madison has a shot. One Knox is eliminated, and Chattanooga is eliminated there. Moving on to Group 4. Portland is eliminated.
Yeah,
and Westchester is eliminated. Go look at Group 5.
Charlotte has a chance.
And Richmond's eliminated.
Mm-hmm.
And then going on to Group 6, which is probably the group of hope for League One, because they can have a possibility of having
both
2 teams. And maybe 3 teams finish in the top 3 space between FC Naples, Tormenta, and Greenville.
No.
There is still a chance that even with all of this, that no League One team goes through because they get all bottom out.
I was going to say, Group 6 could possibly see 3 teams make it or no teams make it.
Right. So,
what's the luck feel? What are you feeling lucky-wise for that group?
Because Greenville plays who again?
Greenville will play FC Naples in the final match day. Tormenta has Miami on the road.
Naples
still has another game.
Yeah, they play Tampa.
They played this Friday against Tampa.
So if Naples want to have a shot at moving on, they got to beat the Rowdies.
Naples has to win one of their last 2 games to even have a chance.
I would say they got to win both.
Oh, yeah, no. If Tampa wins, then they probably are.
Yeah, they got to win both. So, yeah, so, like, I mean, this is the thing we said, too. Like, Group 6, I think we said at the beginning of the year, like, Group 4 and 5 was, like, the group of, like,
crash outs.
That's
the dog fight. Yeah, that's the fuck. I don't even care about the points. We just fighting. Like it's 90 minutes of fighting.
Group 4 and 5 was there might be fights. Group 3 was it exists. Group 2 was a group of death.
Yeah.
And Group 6 was like, we're just gonna assume Tampa's moving on, and who knows about the rest.
Right. So I don't know, man. It's gonna be interesting to see how that final couple of matches for Jägermeister moves on. But is this a good sign for League One that you have so many teams eliminated on or above match day 2 or 3? Like really match day 4 outside of what? Potentially Naples, Greenville, Tormenta, Charlotte, and Madison. 5 teams, potentially 4. Does it matter? Like, is that a bad sign?
No.
No, I don't think it matters. I think it hurts a little bit because you try to balance it to where you have like some rivalries and some people with maybe a chance just based on previous like results from like either last year or what you've seen from them so far. And it worked out in your favor for some and it didn't for others. So, like, I bet they assumed in Group 5 that Charlotte was going to make a run. And they just met it, but it was too many people that were just like, no, fuck you. We're not letting you get further than us. So it was always either a dogfight, which led to penalties, or they were just getting out-muscled. So I bet you they thought that Omaha was going to be better than they were.
Yeah.
And that's just them having an off season.
Yeah, I think if you look at each group, it's like Spokane had the Monterey loss when they were struggling, and then they just lost to Vegas, who won 3 out of the 4 games. So it's like, okay, can't do much about that. I think everyone expected Omaha to be better. So far, haven't. I think in Group 3, it was always going to be tough because half of your group was League One teams, and they each played each other. Whereas like Madison played both Chattanooga and Knoxville. So that was like, you're already like taking points off of each other. Group 4, no, I don't think anyone else expected Portland or Westchester to get out of their group. If Charlotte wins their penalties, they're top of the group.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I feel like, and it's all regionalized too. So it's not as though these groups were. It's always going to be tough because it was based on regions.
Yeah. Because I think in Group 5, I think
the furthest game was
making this point about how you had like 3 of the top Eastern Conference teams in that group, which
right,
but whatever.
I mean, I think the furthest game was us to Louisville.
Mm-hmm.
And that was like a 2-hour flight. If that.
Yeah. So, yeah, those are the Jäger Cups. The only Jäger Cup game this weekend that's happening on is the only game actually in USL ecosystem that's happening on the 4th, which I find really weird. I'm surprised we don't have more games happening on the 4th. But it's FC Naples versus Tampa Bay Rowdies, a game that I won't be able to watch because I'll be the designated driver for my wife, taking her to the Beyonce concert. So,
I mean, to be fair, it'd probably be a really hard sell to try and have a match on 4th of July. Like, I feel like that's a hard attendance to try and pull off.
I mean,
unless you do a fireworks show after. I'm just saying, like, unless you do a fireworks show after, I feel like it's hard because you're gonna have people that probably already have their 4th of July plans are going to be too drunk to make it.
Probably. Yeah, so FC Naples, Tampa Bay Rowdies. that game there. Do we give FC Naples a chance? Because remember, these teams played in the US Open Cup, and remember how that game went.
That was a fun game, though.
It was. It was probably one of my favorite games for the US Open Cup season this year.
I am. I'm gonna give them a chance.
Okay.
They have a chance because it's at home. If it was on
But
the road,
Tampa
I'd say
is also not good right now. I'm not even gonna hold you.
Yeah, I think they have a chance.
There's an opportunity. Glistening. So we got FC Naples there. Should we include that in our vibes and chaos? We'll come back to that.
We'll see.
I mean, I already know who my vibes and chaos are, so if you want to include it, we can.
Right. We move on to the games that's happening midweek Wednesday. We got Portland at 6:30 versus AVL. This is all Eastern Standard Time.
What the fuck are we doing playing on a Wednesday? Why are we doing this? You know what?
Hey. Portland got to make up like what?
20 games.
They decided to start their season late. So
I didn't know we were including Wednesday games. Okay. I still got a vibe in chaos anyways. Okay.
Portland takes on AV Alta there on Wednesday. Westchester will welcome Greenville Triumph up 95. And Spokane in the late game at 10 p.m. on a Wednesday. Welcome.
We're not doing this.
I mean, that's like 7 p.m. there, so it's not that bad for them.
So we got games there. I'll move on to Saturday, talk about those. Saturday on the 5th, we got in a Tennessee Derby, a team that neither fan base particularly cares about. Chattanooga taking on One Knox there. Texoma taking on Fort Madison at 8:30. AV Alta welcomes Union Omaha. And then on Sunday, Portland takes on South Georgia Torment. So, guys, what's your vibes and chaos pick for this weekend?
I have no idea what the hell the chaos is going to be, but for vibes, I'm saying Naples, Tampa.
Okay.
My vibes?
Yeah.
I'm trying to decide if I want to make AV Alta versus Omaha vibes or chaos.
I'm going to tell you my vibes game. Y'all might laugh at me. It's Portland versus AV Alta.
Well,
I can see that. I can see that because my other game that I was thinking about, that's why I'm like, I kind of want to make AV Alta versus Union Omaha vibes because Texoma versus Forward was also my other choice for chaos.
Spokane versus Texoma is my chaos pick.
Ooh. I just knew one of the games with Texoma was going to be chaos. I just didn't know which one.
Yeah. Texoma Madison is going to end 1-0 one way or another.
Point of that goddamn heat, probably.
But Spokane and Texoma?
A 10 o'clock Wednesday
I know
game.
my chaos. My chaos is Chattanooga, Knoxville.
What?
See,
I get why. Okay, I get why. But
there will probably be a red card or two. That pitch might be terrible. I don't know how much rain they've gotten down there, but if it's anything like the rest of the country, that pitch is going to be a mess. There's probably going to be a red card.
I get why.
It's going to be interesting.
Is it bad that we all have different chaos games?
No, I think that's good.
No.
Because last time we all had similar chaos.
Yeah.
And then it happened.
Man. Just looking at the Wednesday and Saturday slate, like, which game do I expect something crazy to happen? Is Spokane and Texoma.
That Westchester, we're all agreeing that none of us are looking at that Westchester Greenville game, right?
No, because it's going to be PKs.
None of us are moved by that match. Okay, great. Okay,
It'll be 2-1 for Greenville, and Westchester gets a pen.
I can tell you how that game is
still
going to go.
here. As long as we're still here, I'm
Yeah.
good.
Yeah,
I can tell you how that game is going to go. Greenville will score around the 20th to 30th minute. One Obregon's going to get a PK around the 50th to 60th minute. Westchester going to forget how to defend. And Greenville going to score in the 80th to 90th minute.
Do they score that late?
Yeah.
Well, it's not do they score that late as will Westchester defend long enough.
Right.
Yeah, we're all in agreement. Westchester Greenville is not a match worth a damn.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm cool to throw Chattanooga and One Knocks in that because I know how that game going to go. Like, I know Chattanooga going to defend late. I know One Knocks is going to.
No, he said that's his Chaos game.
That's my Chaos. Again, there's too many factors where the chaos can happen between that pitch and there's likely a red card. There's likely a red card. Has Chattanooga gone a game without a red card?
Yes, they have. It hasn't been pretty, but yeah.
Better. Okay. Is there a game that Chattanooga has gotten less than 3 yellow cards?
Now you're making me think.
Why are you making me think at 11 o'clock at night? Why are you?
Well, I'm just saying.
Yeah. So, like, it's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting. But, yeah. Anything else from you guys before we wrap up the good old show?
No, I need to start making some money because I keep buying Legos and it's silly. Legos are so expensive.
Yeah, they are.
Legos?
Huh?
Why are you buying Legos?
Because they have the F1 cars. Have you not seen them?
No.
I mean, the boys have Desmond has a Red Bull and Sterling has a Ferrari. And I'm pissed because guess who's the one putting it together? Yeah.
Of course you were. Yeah.
Father,
You thought they were going to do it? Absolutely not.
No. They want to do it. They wanted to start. And then once it got to like step 5, they're like, okay, I'm bored. And then here I am sitting in my parents' living room, looking through it and asking, and I'm doing it myself. I was like, it's been an hour. And I'm going to bed.
Yeah, no. I think we're going to do it. Absolutely not. That's what you're there for. That's what you're dad. Yeah. So as always, folks, we just want to say thank you for taking the time of your day for listening to our show. Because without you, we couldn't do this. We wouldn't want to do this. And yeah, there's a billion other places you could go listen to the League One news, but we just want to say thank you for listening to us because we've been more consistent.
We
have. I will give us that.
We've had our we've always hit our bi-weekly show. We have not missed a bi-weekly show.
Yeah. That's one thing. Now the quick kicks, depending on who got it.
There will be
Mine was like 2 minutes. Mine was like 2
2
minutes this week, and I posted it, and then I was like, "Oh, that was garbage."
There will be one next week.
I did one. So the problem is, I did one, but I did it on my phone, and it was only like 2 minutes, and I posted it, and I looked at it, I was like, "This is shit." So I was like, "Fuck this, this is bad."
There will be one next week. We have an interview. And if you follow League One, you will know who this is. I'm not going to spoil it, but it is someone that League One people will know.
So, yeah. Make sure you follow us on all socials for that. But as always, for Ev, for Kyle, and myself, we will holler at you guys next week. Be easy, be safe as always, and always, always be nice to someone. You never know how far it can go. All right, y'all. Be easy, be safe. We'll see you guys next week.